Okay, let's practice one more. So let's do number 3 together. We have to read it out loud. Y is greater than or equal to 1/2 x minus 8. Let's designate the things that we have before we actually start drawing anything down here on our plane. So the first thing that we have is, excuse me, we have our slope, our rate of change, which we can clearly see is a positive 1/2. So our ratio of rise to run is 1 to 2. Over here for our beginning point, or our y-intercept, this line is going to cross, this inequality is going to cross the y-axis at a negative 8. So our y-intercept is negative 8. And the line itself, when we draw it down here on the graph, since our inequality says greater than or equal to, if we were going to graph it on the number line, since it's greater than or equal to, it would be a solid dot. So when we draw our line, we are going to have a solid line. And the shading we will get to in just a moment. So let's come down and let's begin to draw our line. Okay. So our line is very clearly, before I get to that point, we need to, before we draw the line, we need to do a few other things first. So our beginning point is going to be, as we said, a negative 8. So our first dot goes on the y-axis at negative 8. So here's negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. So we'll put our first dot right here at negative 8. We need the second dot to draw the line. Our rate of change is a positive 1/2. Since it's positive, we know our line is going to go up in this general direction. So to start right here, our rise is a positive 1, so we go up 1. Our run is a positive 2. We go to the right 2 points, and we will put our second dot right here. Okay, and now that we have our dots, let me get that one a little bigger. Now that we have our dots, we're actually ready to draw the line itself. Again, it's a solid line because our inequality is greater than or equal to. Okay. So let's make our line yellow this time so that it stands out really well. Okay. Our line let me change this because it's going to be a solid line. So here we have a solid line now. Our line is going to start right here at negative 8. It's going to go up through this point right here, and it's going to go shooting off into eternity this direction right here. And of course it's going to come back the other direction as well, doing the same thing. It would go down 1 and it would go over 2, so it's going to go through this point right here and going to continue off that way. And just like last time, we have the line, but we're not quite done yet because it's an inequality, so we have to show all of the numbers that are included in this solution set. Well, this says y is greater than. Greater than implies things that are above. So we are going to shade this entire portion of the graph that is above this line. So all the numbers that would make this thing a true statement are going to be contained in this part of the graph that all resides up here. Okay, so this is what you have to color in, or what you have to shade in to show that it's all included in the answer. And one last time, just to make a point, if you don't if you don't believe me that this greater than is implied everything above the line, you can always prove it mathematically. So if we were to come out here, and again, just to prove a point, let's jump way out here to 10 on the 10 on the x-axis. If I put 10 in place of x, it would be 1/2 times 10. Well, 1/2 times 10 is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So y must be greater than or equal to negative 3. So out here at y is 10 on the y-axis, negative 3 is down here, okay? And 3 is clearly above this line. So again, it's going to be everything that is above there, just to prove the point mathematically. And that is the end of that problem.